Okay guys, so now that you hopefully reviewed long division with me in the last video, here's synthetic division. So notice it's a similar problem, but you'll notice with synthetic, the amount of time is cut drastically. Basically, start by taking each of the coefficients. Let's write them down. It's this simple. Now, if they try to get tricky, and notice I have b3, b squared, b and a number. Let's say the b squared was missing here. You would put a 0 in its place here, okay? And you'll learn that once you get into the actual trig or IM3 class. But anyways, so once you write down, copy down the coefficients and the constant number, basically make like a hockey stick, guys. Leave a little space underneath the numbers, little gap there. Make a little hockey stick, okay? Now what? The only other tricky thing is, let's look at what we're dividing by. What makes this 0 is positive 8, right? 8 minus 8 is 0. So, see, b minus 8 actually represents the root 8. So, that's what we're going to divide by here, synthetically, in 8. Now, here's how the process goes. You just bring down the first number. You're going to multiply here. 6 times 8 is 48. You bring it up here. Now you're going to put these together. What's 48 and negative 45? That's a positive 3. We do it again. What's 8 times 3? 8 times 3 is 24. What's 24 minus 17? A 7. We do it one more time. 8 times 7, 56. Right here, 56 minus 55 is 1. That 1 is our remainder. And if your teacher hasn't shown you this, guys, I refer to these numbers here as the guts of the problem. And since we took a B3 and divided by a B, what's B3 divided by B? That's a B squared, right? So what we actually figured out is we have a 6b squared plus 3b plus 7 with a remainder of 1. And since we divided by b minus 8, this would be the same answer we would get if we did long division. So pause the video if you need to. Let's take a look at number 14. Again, it's really simple. First, I start by just copying down the numbers. It's that simple. Leave a space and a gap. Make your little bracket or hockey stick. What plus 6 is 0 is negative 6. Negative 6 is basically the root we're synthetically substituting or dividing by. So we're going to use a negative 6 here. Let's see what happens. We bring down the 4. When we multiply those together, we get negative 24 up here. 20 minus 24 is negative 4. Again, we're going to multiply those together. We're going to get positive 24. Notice positive. Watch your sign, say negative. Negative 27, 24 is negative 3. We're going to do it one more time. That's positive 18. We got a 0 remainder. Now, remember what happened when we got a 0 remainder in the last video? What that means, guys, is what we have here, what I refer to as the guts again, is in this case 4b squared minus 4b minus 3. This is basically the resulting division answer, okay? Because of the 0 remainder, what that also means is that if I took 4b squared minus 4b minus 3 and I multiplied it by b plus 6, this will give me or get me back to what I started with. Again, what does this 0 result mean? Is we have actually a perfect factor here. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, 15. Well, we're going to copy down 4. We're going to copy down 24. Now, guys, the only trick to this one is, do you notice here we're missing the b? We put a 0. we're missing this number, we put a 0. So we have our b3 represented, our b squared represented, our b and our constant represented there. That's the only thing weird about synthetic division for the most part. So now let's make our hockey stick. -6 makes it 0 again. So that's what I'm going to synthetically divide by. I'm going to bring down my 4. When I multiply there, I get -24. I get a 0. So when I multiply with 0, I get a 0. When I multiply with 0, I get a 0. So what we figured out is we got a 0 remainder, right? So what did we figure out, guys, is this 4 right here, okay, is our 4b squared. And so that's my answer. But also understand, if I took 4b squared times the b plus 6, check this out, I get 4b cubed plus 24b squared, which is exactly what we started with there again. Okay, guys, so once you try number 16, pause the video, try number 16, see how you do. Somehow my record button went off there. So let's see how you did here. Did you take the 1 there? Remember, if there's no coefficient that's really 1, the -6 there, the -46, and the 60. Again, I have my b3, my b squared, my b, and my constant represented there, right? And get rid of my mess there. Do my little gap with a hockey stick. What makes this 0 is +10, so hopefully you use 10 instead of -10. And now I'm just going to do my synthetic. I'm going to bring down the 1. When I multiply there, I get a 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. When I multiply there, I get a 40. -46 and 40 is -6. When I multiply one more time, I get a -60. I got a 0 remainder again. What does that mean? This right here tells me that I have a b squared plus a 4b minus 6. That's my answer. But understand, if I times that by b minus 10, this will get me back to where I started from. Again, what that really means is this right here is called a factor of my original problem. Of course, b minus 10 would be the other factor. So I just figured out 2 factors in this problem. Okay, so hopefully all that makes sense. And that concludes this set of videos, guys. And if you do some due diligence, you'll have some extra credit as well in my class once you get it done and churned in. See you in class.